we were talking a little bit before the show, TJ.
Yeah.
Me and Brockman, we're just like, we're all about, okay, teams and the next group of quarterbacks coming in. Right, we're already past Drake May.
I'm not past Drake May.
No, not saying like we're already on to the next class.
Right, we're moving on.
You as a fan, you're locked in.
Oh, I'm
Drake
good for
May.
a decade.
Right, you're good. Right, Jaden Daniels, he's already here.
Oh yeah.
But Caleb Williams now seems to be struggling a little bit. And then there's also going to be some teams that are going to be looking. They're going to be quarterback hungry when the draft comes around next year. And so as we start to look at the quarterbacks of next year's crop, let's not ignore the quarterbacks of this year's crop, because Caleb Williams, we thought, was probably the best quarterback in the draft, or the best, I would say, pro-ready of the group.
Most talented.
I would say pro-ready.
And going into the best situation.
Yeah, going into the best situation, pro-ready.
Right.
I mean, Bo Nix, we were just like, the dude's just old, right? But at the same time, he's got experience. I don't know if he was pro-ready. The most talented, I think, pro-ready was Caleb Williams, because we thought his game would translate. Because everybody, what was his comparison coming out? TJ, remember the comparison of Caleb Williams? He plays like who?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. They had a little Patrick Mahomes. They had a little bit of everything. And now you go into the season, and I'm not saying that, and I don't want this to sound like I'm being a hater, because I'm not a hater. You have to figure out there's a fine line between criticizing and being a hater. But I was critical because it did seem at times, because I'm a big fan of Hard Knocks, and you watch the way the show was played out, and you hear some of the interviews and the conversations of Caleb Williams, and I realized that you have to look at the game a little bit differently and be more humble about your approach. I don't know if I saw that humble approach for Caleb. It was like, I'm going to light the league on fire. It's pretty easy. Like, this is going to be good. No, when you tell your punter, hey, you're not going to punt this many times this year. We're going to be rolling on offense. And I'm saying, I don't think you understand how this league works. Like, this is a week-to-week league. And your patience, your mental, your physical will all be tested. And then if adversity hits, either they're going to point at you or they're going to point at somebody else on the staff. But someone is going to be the reason of why the team is not performing well if you're not succeeding. And that was a question that was asked to Caleb Williams, is does he still have faith in the head coach that drafted him? Here's Caleb Williams.
Am I confident in my head coach? Yes, I'm confident in my head coach. They brought me here for a reason. They brought all of us here for a reason. As players, when we're in the locker room, we know how good we are. We know how good we can be. And right now we're not executing. We're not hitting on cylinders. And we have all the confidence in each other, to be honest with you.
Have all the confidence, but 3 losses will do that to you, fellas. You lose 3 times in a row. It feels like double. Right? It feels like you haven't won in almost a month or more. I always say that because I've been in those situations where you like, man, you lose one game in the way that they lost in the Hail Mary game, obviously, to Washington. You're like, okay, we got to get it out of our mind. And remember, Caleb Williams talked about it like they didn't really get over it yet. And that was 2 weeks. Now you're going up again and, okay, we got to win here. We got the New England Patriots coming in. And the Patriots beat you. Oof. And now you start to look around. And I think, what is it? Are you a finger pointer or a thumb pointer? That's a big one. Are you a finger pointer or a thumb pointer?
Oh, can you explain that?
Well, if you're a finger pointer,
it's your blame on everybody else.
You put the blame on everybody else.
Thumb pointers like, all
thumb
right,
pointers,
me.
I put the blame on myself first before I go out and criticize others or I'll talk about myself first of what I need to do. I need to be better. And I would love to see Caleb Williams come out and say, don't look at my head coach. Look at me first. I'm not making the plays that are needed because everybody's going to blame somebody. When you're not winning, you're going to blame somebody. This league is about we win as a team, but when we lose, it's somebody's fault. Think about it. In the NFL, we all win. We did a great job. But when you lose, it's somebody's fault, right? It's Jerry Jones because he didn't put a curtain up, right? It's Mike McCarthy because he can't cut. We got to find reasons why you lost the game. The field goal kicking was bad. Yesterday was just a bad game for the Houston Texans, but yet Who do we blame the most? Oh, C.J. Stroud had a bad game. No, he didn't have a bad game. It wasn't his best, but I wouldn't say it was the reason why, but that's the way the NFL works. I just want to see Caleb Williams down the stretch now change things around. It shouldn't fall on Shane Waldron, his offensive coordinator. It should fall on himself to point himself, look at himself and be a thumb pointer, say it starts with me. It starts with my performance. And then moving forward, we'll see. But it goes back again to next year's crop of quarterbacks. No matter how much we hype them up, we're going to hype them up again. We're going to continue. Who's going to be the number one overall? Is it Shador? Is it Cam Ward? Just know that it's going to be some ups and downs, bumps and bruises. But, man, salute to Drake May overcoming that. He got a win yesterday, and these Patriots look like they found their quarterback for the future, which is good. Because some quarterbacks, like Jaden Daniels, you're like, all right, I think Washington has something. And he's going to have to continue to progress. I think we want to award the quarterbacks of these players too soon. One of the great NBA players, I always remember, I was sitting in the green room with Gary Payton. And I was like, oh, man, you see the young dude? He's over there balling. You know, he's averaging 25 points a game. He's like, yeah, when he's doing it for 4 years in a row, then call me. There's a consistency that you have to have in professional sports. We love to award one season of performance, second year of performance, third year. And we don't, for some reason, we don't appreciate longevity. We don't appreciate the sustained success for year after year after year. And I wonder why. Why don't we do that? I want to see more of that. Appreciate it. Because I feel like we're tearing, at times, Patrick Mahomes down, but yet the dude is good. Like, he's really, really good. It's not always going to be perfect, but it's going to be good enough. I'm watching Patrick Mahomes. I'm watching Lamar Jackson. I'm watching tonight Matthew Stafford, Monday Night Football. People look at him as a relic. I'm not looking at Matthew Stafford as a relic. I'm watching high quarterback IQ that these young dudes just don't have.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.